Fear is the enemy.
Legacy Music Box.
Whatever it is that you're going for, man, go hard. And hold on, never give up. You gotta have that mentality, man. I put in the work, I spent a lot of time on the waiting list. Never complained, I ain't never said shit. Shoot my shot, no fear if I miss. Imagine you chasing a dream that you love, only to find out it wasn't enough. You fall on your face, but you get right back up. And you fall back again, but you get right back up, yeah. That's the way that it's always been. Don't nobody care about the grind but you. Nobody putting in the time but you. Make up your mind, who you wanna be. I know who I am, know what I want. Live by 2 words, mama mentality. And that's word to my mom, word to my pops, word to my little bro. They said make your mistakes, but don't make excuses on why you can't live and learn. On a couple occasions I damn near went broke. I'm chasing this music thing, and I ran out of hope. I threw in the towel, said fuck the hole in the street. I kept on writing and touring. I picked up a job cause I knew it was important. The money I made, I would stash it away just to fund my recordings. And I didn't wanna stop cause I didn't know how. I would lay in my room by myself late at night and I finally figured it out. I just wanna be the best version of me, make all the music that I wanna make. I don't care what nobody gon' say. You miss all of the shots you don't take. And the answer is no, if you don't ask. If it gets hard, this too shall pass. God is my witness and he got the plan. He got the plan. I put in the work, I spent a lot of time on the waiting list. Never complained, I ain't never said shit. Shoot my shot, no fear if I miss. Imagine you chasing a dream that you love, only to find out it wasn't enough. You fall on your face, but you get right back up. And you fall back again, but you get right back up, yeah. That's the way that it's always been. Don't nobody care about the grind but you. Nobody putting in the time but you. Make up your mind, who you wanna be. I know who I am, know what I want. Live by 2 words, mama mentality. Yeah. Remember, man, you only in competition with yourself. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the process. Pleasure and pain. R.I.P. the greatest. 0824.
Check 1 2, check 1 2. I am hoping that you guys can hear me out there. If you can, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you are in the house today. Welcome. It is another version of Circle Talk, and it's your boy DH in the building. Thank you guys so much for always coming through and hanging with me for this Saturday. I appreciate all of you for continuing to be a part of this journey about promoting good people doing great things in our community. And so today I am excited to have a young woman that's out there in Switzerland. If y'all don't know where that's at, it's not close to Washington. So just so you know, it's 9 p.m. there. It's 12 here. So yeah, it's a whiles away from here across the pond. But I'm excited to have an opportunity to share some time with her, learn a little bit more about her and her musical journey and her life and everything that's all about R. Davis. And I'm really excited to dig in and just get to know her a little bit better. I actually seen her on one of the friends of mine's podcasts that she is doing. And they had an amazing conversation, but also she's very talented, musically talented. And I'm really just wanting to learn a little bit more myself. And that's why I was like, yo, I got to have her on Circle Talk. So we got her here today. I'm excited. And so we're going to get into it. But first, we want to give a thank you to all the sponsors out there that continue to be a part of everything you do. First off, iShotIt.com. Thank you guys so much for always having my back, supporting me in everything that I do. If you're locally in the area and need somebody to do your pictures, whether it's wedding pictures, family photos, senior portraits, weddings, whatever the case may be, my guy Marvin Patterson will get you done and get you done right. All you have to do is let him know that you talk to me and he'll give you a great discount right now. Summer's almost over, and so you got to get ready for the fall, guys. Them fall pictures, when the leaves start changing, he gets it done right. So hit him up. Next, Icon ENT, Mr. Junior Thomas. Thank you so much for being a part of my life. Known this brother over 20 years, and we've run the streets from playing basketball, hanging out at all the parties, to now working together outside of the parties and creating opportunities for people, not just to get down and do your thing, but also if you need a ride to any big event that's going on, he is in charge of the party bus extravaganza. He is doing it and doing it big. My guy, Junior Thomas, is the man you want to get in contact with if you need someone to get you somewhere and you don't want to drive and, get a little bit, tipsy and have to worry about getting home. This guy, my boy Junior, he'll get you there and get you there at a reasonable price. All you got to do is let him know I sent you and get you done right. Next, I want to give a huge shout out to the Chaya movement. Thank you so much, Zakia, for continuing to do amazing work in our community. If you guys don't know anything about Zakia and what she has going on, you guys need to go to the chayamovement.com and check out where she's at, what events she's doing. She's extremely busy. And so I know that she has some amazing events coming on right before back to school. So thank you again, Zakia. Last but not least, Intentions Juice and Smoothie Bar. Thank you so much, Marquita, for always having my back and allowing me to be a part of your movement. Marquita is an amazing asset to our community. She is in charge of the juice, the health juice extravaganza here in town, and it's a Black-owned business. So if you are about that life, go ahead and hit up Marquita over at Intentions Juice and Smoothie Bar off of 56 South Tacoma Way. Tell her I sent you. She'll get you done right. So without further ado, I don't want to keep her waiting any longer. We are a little bit, past our time, but hey, it's all good. We're going to keep this thing on and cracking. So welcome, Aura Davis, into the building. Hey. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I do.
Awesome. See, so what's up? What's going on with you? How are you doing today?
Okay, well, first of all, what an introduction. Couldn't have done this better. Thank you so much for all the things you said. That was really nice. Second of all, I love how you shout out your friends, like the photographer, for example.
Absolutely.
That's amazing. I love how you support people. We need more of that.
Absolutely. I think that's
summer is ending and we got to prepare for fall, and I don't want to hear stuff like that because that makes me sad.
Unfortunately, I do apologize. At the same time, we got to keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? We got to savor these moments. Like right now, it's really nice outside. It's like 80 degrees, and I'm sitting up here in all black and sweating. You know what I'm saying? With this big light behind me on my face. But
I know all about that.
But hey, it's all good. We're gonna go ahead and enjoy the moments. And hey, summer can end. We can still have a good time without summer around. I don't want it, but it is what it is. So let's get into it. So again, thank you so much for being here. I know that we have been working on making this happen for a little bit. And I'm glad that it finally came through. As y'all know, we usually meet beforehand to kind of figure out how we're going to make this thing work and how we wanted to, maneuver as we get into these interviews. And so about 10 minutes before we were supposed to go on, like we're on here and she's like, dude, I can't hear you. I can't hear you. And literally, I got this brand new mic hooked up right here. And I got everything set up the way it's supposed to be. I got my mixer, I got my mic stand, everything is all hooked up. I'm like, I'm ready. This is going to be a perfect day. And I can't get no sound. And so we're sitting here for about 10 minutes trying to get sound. And of course, it's me as always that holds up the show. But hey, we're here.
settings on my computer as well. Like, don't put the blame on you. Like,
No, I'm
no one
pretty
knows what's
sure.
no one knows what happened.
Is anyone that watches me knows that I am good for doing something, putting some kind of wrench in a perfect show. And hey, it's all good. We still gonna have a good time and we gonna get into it. So let's do that. Let's talk about you because most of the people that come on and be a part of my show, they know me. I can talk for days. But let's talk about you. Let's talk about where this all started as far as where you're from, your upbringing. Can I get a little bit of that? Can you give us a little bit about your upbringing?
Yeah. So, okay, well, where can I say? I was born in Switzerland. I was born in Zurich, but my dad is Italian, so I'm half Swiss, half Italian. But I was born here. I grew up here. Everything was surrounded here in Switzerland. So, and in regards to music, I think I started to write and think in music when I was 4, maybe 5.
Hmm.
The Actually, the moment I was able to hold a pen, like properly hold it, I
Yeah,
started to write. Um,
nice.
I would read a lot of books when I was younger. I didn't really have a lot of friends. I got taken out of school a few times, had to switch locations because of some bullying that happened, like all this typical drama stuff.
Hmm.
But that forced me to kind of move around pretty often. So, like, the situation that you go to school, you make friends, and you grow up with them, and you're the same kind of circle of friends over years. I never had that. So, that was never something that I had. I was always kind of on the outside, always the outsider, either the new one or the one who wanted to sing, or I was always the weird one
Hmm.
in one way or another. And my dad, he was a professional soccer player. Soccer, you guys don't say football. No, football, something completely different.
We say both. We say
Yeah,
football and we say soccer. It just depends on which one you're referring to. Are you talking about kicking the ball into the
it-
in the
yeah,
net?
like 11 players per team, and you kick the ball into a goal, like,
Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's like soccer. Um,
Yeah. Soccer.
and he was a professional player, and then he was a coach, and that also kind of led us, like the family, to move around quite often.
Hmm.
And being a young kid, not really having any friends, and we have to kind of move location all the time. But it brought me to spending a lot of time just on myself, reading books, and whenever I ran out of books, I would just start to write them myself. So I would just sit there for hours, like the nerd I am,
Yeah.
and just write whatever. Sometimes stories, sometimes poems. So the writing started very early. I think I had a very good upbringing. My parents always took good care of me. I grew up in a nice house. Like, we again we switched places quite often, but we always had pretty nice places. Um, but
Hmm.
yeah, that was mainly it.
Yeah. So let me touch on something because one of the things about interviewing someone, you find out things that you may not have known or even thought of a person going through. So, tell me about a little bit about about being bullied. Like for me, I would never when I see you. Obviously, when we look at people on Facebook or performers performing, we don't actually get to actually know who these people truly are and the things that I've gone through. But to me, I think bullying is something that a lot of people have experienced that um, don't necessarily tell or talk about. Um, let's talk about just how bullying um, went from a negative in your life to something that catapulted you into a place where you are extremely confident now. I mean, like, I would have never in a million years thought that this would have happened to someone like yourself. So what do you think bullying did um, to elevate you? Because I know event in the beginning, obviously it puts you in a negative place. Um, and to me, I love the idea that you said you were bullied. And so one of the things that maybe was a great way to not allow it to overwhelm you and control you is writing, singing, doing things that you truly love. Would you say that's kind of um, your story? A little bit about that piece in your story. Do you think that the music was a huge a method to dealing with it?
I mean, first of all, I am an open book when it comes to these kind of topics,
Yeah,
because I think it's a shame that we don't talk about it more. I mean, it's happening. I see the shift is happening, but as you said, there are still so many people who would never ever dare to open up about stuff like that on the internet
right,
to the
right,
entire world. And for me, it was always like, well, if I'm not going to talk about it, what the hell am I even doing here?
right,
Like,
exactly.
I am one of the lucky ones, I'm going to say it like that, who survived it. I know
Hmm.
people who didn't. I know people who didn't survive what happened in their past.
Yeah,
And I just kind of think it's my responsibility also in a way to sit down and talk to people and open up about it, because you don't have to be ashamed if something like that happened to you in the past.
absolutely. And I think and I love the fact that we are touching on it because there are a lot of young kids that actually watch this show. I have young daughters that have been bullied themselves. And so for me, I think just you touching on it and sharing your thoughts and your feelings about what you went through is an opportunity to help somebody. And so I thank you for opening up on that. Um,
Well, I mean, to answer your initial question, it was there was like this negativity you mentioned in the beginning that
mhm.
surrounded my life, or more so controlled my life
Yeah.
for years, for I would say 20 years,
Wow.
and it still affects me today.
Hmm.
But at some point, I mean, I guess writing and music have always been my kind of way of dealing with emotions and my surroundings and whatever was happening. But
Hmm.
I didn't necessarily know it back then. I
Hmm.
just which is what made everything I wrote back then incredibly honest,
Yeah.
because I wasn't thinking about what I'm going to write. I didn't write to impress anyone. I just wrote down whatever happened, and I'm a keeper when it comes to stuff I wrote. I I keep everything I ever wrote. I keep it in a box in my living room downstairs.
Wow.
And I think a few years ago I had a real huge mental breakdown, and I
Hmm.
decided to open up that box and go over stuff that I have written over the years. And
Yeah.
it was terrifying, sad, but it was also so beautiful to see how much I changed and all the lessons that I had learned, like along the way.
Right.
And so I think it has always been some some form of therapy, but I didn't
Absolutely.
really know it. But it made my life really complicated for many, many years.
Hmm. So once you got to a place where singing was something that you really enjoyed, um, what do you think it was that made you say, you know what, I'm going to do this full time? Like, I want to try and make this a career because, I think as myself, I'm a singer as well. And I think there's always something that I think back to that I would say, me singing the national anthem at a nationally televised game in front of 65,000 people was the one thing that I would say made me say, I really want to take this seriously. Why? Because if I can sing in front of 65,000 people and everybody cheer and the crowd erupt, then maybe I have something. Like everyone has something. Like, what do you think it was that made you say, you know what? I don't just want to sing for fun anymore. I want to do this like for real, for real. What do you think it was?
Like honestly, I think it wasn't necessarily something that happened or was around me. I knew that the day I started to think. I knew I
Hmm,
wanted to do this when I was born. Like the moment I was able to think, I knew I
interesting.
wanted this. But um the thing is, it's not really something you do career wise
Hmm,
here where I'm from. Like it's not normal at all to have these kind of ambitions or dreams, and
wow.
you can't really like living off of music here is almost impossible. Like I
Hmm,
know Switzerland is very famous for money and watches and cows, probably, I don't know, and chocolate. um but
yeah.
what loads of these things aren't necessarily true, it's just cliche. But one thing that is true is that in this country everything is so expensive.
Hmm,
Like it's ridiculously expensive to
yeah.
live. Everyone talks about the money that we earn in our jobs,
Hmm,
but no one talks about the bills we have to pay with that money.
absolutely.
It's it's relative. At the end of the day, we don't have more than anyone else. We just pay a lot more for the stuff. Of course, we have to earn more, but
Hmm,
life is very, very expensive, and we are such a small country that it's very, very hard to make a living off of music.
hmm,
Something that isn't culturally really a thing.
yeah. Wow.
Um, so I kind of knew I wanted this, but I also knew it wasn't real. It was something others do. Like the people I watch on TV, the people I see in the magazines. Those are people who get to do this, but I don't, because I need to do business. I need to go to school and be good at school and go to uni and get a proper job and make
Hmm,
some money. That was what I was supposed to do.
yeah.
For the longest time, I did that, being very unhappy.
Hmm,
And there
yeah.
was a time I fell into a huge, huge depression, and I stayed home for a year straight. I did therapy, I took medication. It was really, really dark there for a moment,
Hmm,
and I needed to make a decision, like whether I want to do this whole life thing. Do I want to
hmm,
live or do I not want to live? Like that, it's just an active decision someone's got to make. Let's
yeah.
just forget about the moral and the like. Let's forget about that for a second. It's an actual decision someone has to make. Do I want
Hmm,
this or do I not want this?
right.
And I made lists, like pro and contra lists,
Hmm,
and I ended up deciding I want to do this. But if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this on my own terms. I
right.
have done everything the world expected me to do. I've done that. I became pretty successful in what I did. I was a
Hmm,
pretty successful person in the business that I've done.
yeah.
And now it's just time to follow my own thing. If I'm going to keep living, I'm going to do it my way. And that was the
Absolutely.
moment where I decided, okay, I mean, I'm just going to do it. No matter what anyone else says, I'm just going to do it. But I think it just needed to grow over the
Hmm,
years. I needed to be unhappy for many years.
yeah. Hmm.
I don't know.
That's
Sometimes
interesting.
it takes longer. I don't know. But
You
it
know, I
almost it wasn't fun.
yeah. So, I mean, it sounds to me like you're as human as we all are, kind of trying to find our angles in this world and where we fit. You are
Mhm.
in a situation where you love music, you live music, your passion is about music, but where you live isn't necessarily the same. Like it sounds to me like, um, you're you're in the wrong place. Um have you thought about leaving?
Yeah, I have. And I've been close to moving twice now.
Really?
In the end, it didn't really work out because of some issues like in the planning. But um, I strongly believe that everything happens for a reason.
Hmm.
So that's just something I started to really believe in. If you don't
Right.
get something specific that you wanted, it wasn't meant to be yours. It wasn't
Absolutely.
meant to be your path. You just gotta sit back, relax, and just wait. And that's what I've been trying to do. So I think it's a very exciting time for me right now. We're close to album release.
Yeah.
I'm having some meetings with labels who have an interest in the album, and
Awesome.
I just want to stay open to whatever comes.
Yeah.
I like if the right opportunity comes up tomorrow, I'm gonna pack my stuff and leave if I have to.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think you have the right mentality about it, and you're obviously on the right path, and I know that just having this short conversation with you, I think you're gonna be good. You're gonna be okay. Like I love the idea of going and testing the world to see what else is out there, and knowing that Switzerland is home, but there's so much opportunity out there for you if you so well please. Um, what is when we talk it, let's back it up a little bit. Let's talk about your music and your style. Um, when you think about Ara Davis and um, her music, who would you say? And this is, I'm sure you've probably heard this before, but who would you say in the business right now that you would say that you would compare yourself to? Like if you could think of all of the musicians that you love that you don't necessarily think are great but have good style, who would you say Aura Davis reminds you of if I'm
Wow,
going to compare you?
that's a really tough question. That's interesting.
Cuz cuz
I,
you to me, and I'm just going to give you my observation, and
oh,
I'm
you
not
have
going to
one. Okay,
I
share.
I always have an observation. I'm a
Go ahead.
observational type of guy. Like, I listen to your whole album. I listen to everything. That's kind of what I'm supposed to do as a a podcaster. I got to know what it is that I'm bringing to the table so I can, give my insight. I love your style. I love your charisma. I think um, I think the genre of music is I think you have it as soft rock, maybe. I think you have a little pop in you. I mean, honestly, like there's a few different people that I could say you remind me of. But I mean, I'm not gonna go there. I love the idea that um, when I listen to your songs, um, like you have some solid rock songs that are undeniable, but then you have those take back intimate moment, you know, songs that I'm just like, yo. And to me, like those are the ones for me because I'm an R&B cat. So, I like that stuff. And so like I was telling you a few days ago, I was literally listening to your album on the way to work, and I came across that song, and I was just like, oh yeah, that's the one for me. I love it. I love it. I mean, I love all the music. I'm a musician. I love all genres of music, but there's always that one that, yeah, I gotta replay that one again. I gotta replay that one again. But I would say if I'm going to Pick anyone. I can't pick one person, so I'm gonna give you a couple that I would mesh together to create aura.
Okay.
I pick a little Avril Lavigne
Okay.
because I love Avril Lavigne, and you got a little bit of that in you. Um, I see a little Faith Hill in there, little
Whoa,
Faith Hill,
that's okay. Wow.
little Faith Hill in there.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then last but not least, um, I can see a little Pink too, a little
Oh,
Pink.
really?
Yeah. So you mesh all of them together. That's you. That's you. For me. For me. You know.
That's crazy. I've heard the Avril Lavigne thing
Hmm.
when I play in the UK. I hear that one quite often.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I
But
haven't heard Faith Hill or Pink before, but interesting.
yeah. Yeah. But you have a great style. And like, who are some of your favorites? Who are some people that you say is that you listen to, that you would um you know be like, yo, I wish I could be that person, or at least be able to sing next to that person and do a song together with that person. Is there any musical influences out there that you?
Yeah, my influences are pretty like all over the place. I listen to a lot of different stuff,
Hmm.
but and we're gonna explore these few things right now, but we gotta start at
Hmm.
one point because the other point is pretty far from the first one. So
Yeah.
I listen to a lot of prog rock bands
Okay.
like Porcupine Tree, Riverside, Catatonia, Tool.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's the kind of music that saved my life when I was in this depression phase. That kind of music kind of helped me to overcome that time. So this music, these bands that I just said are they will forever be in my heart
Hmm.
because without those bands I probably wouldn't be talking to you now.
Gotcha.
Um, but these are all like just in terms of feeling. But I'm a singer and I'm a female, so I do
Yeah.
of course also have some female vocalists that I really look up to. Um, I'm a huge Melissa Etheridge fan.
Okay. Yeah.
That woman, she's like the coolest chick on earth. And if I ever grow up, I want to be like her.
Yeah.
She's amazing. I saw her live last year. I mean, that woman is 69 and she still kills it.
Still killing it, huh?
Crazy, crazy, crazy. That energy, that voice, amazing. Then apart from that, I really like the Pretty Reckless and Taylor Momsen.
Okay.
What Taylor Momsen is doing with her band, the Pretty Reckless.
Yeah.
Um, I really, really like Kelsey Ballerini. She's in the
Yeah.
country pop music thing kind of
Yeah.
scene. I just
Yeah.
love her as a vocalist. Like what she does with her voice is I think it's amazing. It hits me
Wasn't
every time.
she wasn't she on like The Voice or American Idol, one of those?
She wasn't, but there was a TV show that I think Ryan Tedder hosted that was called what was next songwriter generation or something like that, like songwriters from all over the world they could apply and basically pitch their songs to a special artist, and every week they would have another special artist, and one week there was Kelsey Ballerini who was the special artist and the songwriters could actually pitch the next single to her.
That's right. That is right. That's the one that, okay, okay. I
Yeah,
can't remember the name of that show, but I
I
know
don't
exactly
remember.
what you're talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
John Legend was on there, right?
There were many pretty famous people there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Julia Michaels was there as well.
Um, Gosh, who else was there?
There was
Usher
quite
was there. I think Usher was there
probably,
too.
yeah, might be possible.
Black Eyed Peas was there.
Hmm?
I can't remember the name of the show, but I definitely remember. I remember that's where.
That's
Right.
that's where she was like part of. She was a guest there.
And I remember she got a song from a young man, right? It was a
Yeah,
young man that had an amazing
yeah.
voice.
The song
But
is
what song is it? I lost you. Where'd you go?
Better luck next time.
Better luck next time. There it is. That's
That was
right. That's right.
yeah,
That's crazy. I remember that.
yeah.
Um,
So
did you?
she's one who really. I flew over to Manchester just to see her.
Oh yeah, nice, nice. And did you get to meet her, or did you just you watch her show?
Like really, I'm not that kind of fan person that
Yeah.
would buy fancy meet and greet and stuff because
Hmm.
like I'm an artist myself sometimes. I mean,
Right.
of course, but all I want to do, like the things I would want to ask her, don't even fit into a meet and greet situation where you have like 30 seconds to tell her, "Hi, I love you." I
Yeah.
would like I if I meet her, I want to sit down with her, have a glass of wine, eat some nachos, and just talk about stuff like the entire evening, get drunk, get wasted, and maybe write a song. That's really
Yeah.
what I want to do.
Yeah.
So
So that's funny. I wanted to touch on something real quick that you had said back up because I didn't respond to it, but I asked you about when you thought that what was the thing that made you say singing was what you wanted to do, and you said since the day you were born. Um, I think I've talked to a lot of musicians, and I would say you're the first one to say that answer. And, it's actually a great answer because, for me, I can't say that. When I first started singing, I was in a church and my mom forced me to sing in the church choir as a child, a little tyke. And, like I didn't know that singing was a big thing to me. I just knew my mom sang in the choir, my dad played the guitar, but I didn't take it seriously. It was just something that I had to do because my mom said I had to do it. But it's interesting. Like, once I finally realized I went into middle school, sang in choir in middle school, and that was cool. Sang in choir in high school, yeah, that was cool. But still, I didn't necessarily believe that I had something. You know what I'm saying? And so it's interesting. Like I didn't realize I had potential to do something with my voice until I got around really good singers and realized that I could hang with a couple of these people. And then we all got together and decided to create this four singing quartet that was singing everywhere. And so, that to me, once I was with these guys, then I realized maybe we could do something, not David. We as a group could become something amazing. Um, I I'm gonna be honest, like your answer is like I wish I would have had that passion when I was young. It just wasn't that. I always wanted to play sports. I was a sports head. You know what I'm saying? I was a sports head. My dad played baseball, and so I wanted to play football, wanted to run track, I played basketball. I did all of that stuff. That was all my dream. Music was something that I found um, to be important to me later in life, and your answer just really made me just uh, think about that. That was a great answer. Um, great answer. I don't know. I just wanted to touch on that. I was just feeling it, and I didn't say anything about it when you said it. So let's do this because I think that what's that? I don't know what happened, but I can't. Are you there? Check, check, check. Are you there? Can you hear me though? Okay, yeah, I can't hear. I don't know. Let me check and see if I can hear you online because you disappeared for some reason. Sorry about the technical difficulties, y'all. We'll get back. Just got to figure out um, where her. Let's see. Say something. Say something. Say something. Nothing. Yeah, I'm not even getting anything online, so I'm not sure exactly what happened to the volume over there. Um, are you close to your mic? Yeah, I can't hear anything. Weird. Yeah, I'm not even getting anything on. Weird. Yeah, I'm not even getting anything on. Okay, so do this for me because I'm not sure exactly what happened because I can't hear anything, and obviously it's not coming um, through the system. Um, yeah, there's nothing coming through there. Um, do you want to jump out and jump back in real quick? All right, let's try it. Let's try it. This is live, you guys. This is what happens when you're live. Things happen. But we are here with R. Davis. We're having a great conversation. We do apologize for the technical difficulties. They happen. We're going to keep rolling. We're going to keep talking. We got about 30 more minutes with her. So hopefully we can get her back on and get some volume going because this conversation has been great and I've enjoyed it. And so here she is. Let's see if we can hear her better now.
Please tell me you hear me.
I hear you. There it is. There it is.
Oh, it's
Uh,
really
maybe it's the distance. Oh, who knows? But hey,
it's quite a distance, yeah.
it is like I I travel a lot. I don't travel out the country, but I travel a lot in the country. I want to. My goal is to see all the states. Um, before I leave this earth. That's my plan. I've been about 26 states. I love it. Like I was in LA last about 2 weeks ago. I was in LA, doing my thing, and 4 months ago I was in Chicago, and so I really like to just do these 4 or 5 day vacays to see the city and the states, and just in get a piece of the environment and just experience it. Like I was in Phoenix. Like I've been so many places. I've never been out of the country. like like what
Well, I mean, I haven't been to the US. I've
you
been to
gotta come.
Europe, but never the US. I was supposed to play in New York 2 years ago. I was
Hmm.
booked for 3 shows,
Yeah,
and I had to cancel because of COVID,
yeah,
and
yeah,
it was really, really sad.
yeah. I, I,
But
bel- I
I'm
believe
gonna
it.
come. I'm gonna come. I'm gonna get my ass over to the States one
You
day.
got to. I mean, there's so much opportunity for artists like yourself. I was doing an interview with another young girl from the UK, and damn, I forgot her name. Like it was just right there. I can't remember her name. Oh my gosh, she's gonna kill me.
Just oh,
Yeah, we're just gonna keep going.
Rebecca.
It was not Rebecca.
It was not Rebecca.
It was not Rebecca.
Oh,
Let me see. I gotta look it up now because I don't want to put that out there and then
I'm
oh
gonna
you
take
forgot
a
her
sip of my
name.
water while you do that.
She's gonna kill you. Yeah. Anyways, but I was doing an interview with her, and she was talking about how her dream is to move to Nashville and do do a whole bunch of touring and make it big. And she's I think she was like 17, 18 years old, something like that. She's like really young, but gosh, I am
Well, that's good
horrible.
for them.
Yeah, I mean, she's got goals and aspirations, and she's got a great following, and a great thing that she's doing. Her and like I said, I think she's an amazing person as well. And she reminds me a little bit of Miley Cyrus, a young Miley Cyrus. And so I was like, good luck to you, I wish you well. I'm so glad that we had this opportunity. And I think she actually did end up going to Nashville for a little bit.
Is she?
um
Right.
I think so. I think she did a couple shows down there, and staying busy doing her thing. But
I love people who follow their dreams.
absolutely, we have to.
So
I
inspiring.
mean, you
Yeah, but
know,
you know how many people don't?
oh, millions of people, millions of
Because
people.
out of the complete wrong reasons, most
Well, a
of them,
lot of,
at
I
least.
think, I think a lot of it is the willing, the idea of being told no. It
Yeah.
scares a lot of people. I mean, we're all gonna hear no's. There's gonna be no's to the day we leave this earth.
You know what?
But
I recently read an article that kind of touches on what we are just talking about. And the article was it was really interesting because we just said that people don't follow their dreams because they're afraid to fail.
mm,
The
absolutely,
article, and it was written by a psychiatrist, and he kind of twisted the whole thing and said the majority of people don't follow their dreams not because of the fear of failure but the fear of being successful, because
really.
imagine getting your dreams,
Mm,
imagine reaching that point.
hmm
That's
hmm,
scary. That's really
really.
scary. Like, think about the biggest dream that you have, like the biggest unrealistic one that you put
Hmm.
for yourself. Like, I don't know, play
Hmm.
s- play a sold out stadium show for 5 nights in a row, like Taylor Swift is doing right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Imagine
yeah.
that being your goal in your dream, and now imagine reaching that.
Do you
How scary.
believe? Do you believe that?
Well, for me, it's not scary, but I understand where his article is coming from. I know
Hmm.
people who actually do this. Well,
Hmm.
like, they might not be aware that they are doing it, but I know people who definitely, now that I know that is a thing, I see patterns in some of my friends of people who don't do what they want to do because they're afraid, because
Hmm.
everything might change and for the better, and that's scary. I can see how that, I see where it comes from.
Yeah, I don't necessarily agree, but I don't disagree either. I think a lot of the people that I've been around some very talented people, and I did a lot of touring, back when I used to be heavy into music, and just seeing all the different states, and just trying to create a life for myself when I was doing music. And I think for me, there's so many amazingly talented people that are just afraid of hearing no. I mean, like, why? I mean, it's like it's a part of growing is understanding that not everybody is looking for exactly who you are or what you have to offer. It's not that what you have isn't amazing and isn't going to make you a million bucks. It's just maybe that opportunity isn't the one for you in front of you today. You know what I'm saying? And some people are just afraid to hear that no, and so they sit back and allow and all that musicality and intelligence in their mind and in their soul to just disappear and fade to the black.
I've done that for a long, long time. I know all about that.
And I do too. And what's crazy is that I'm so happy we're having this conversation because next week I'm going into the studio. Well, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, I'm going into the studio to interview one of my friends that I've known since back in the day, and he's been really heavy in the music business. He's actually a producer and has done a lot of really national stuff, like toured the country and performed with some heavy hitters in the game. And I just was excited to have an opportunity to talk with him. But just talking about this and all of the people that have allowed their talents to dissipate and disappear into fade to black, it makes me want to go back and I don't want that to be me. So maybe I should
Do it.
at least put
Do it.
something in his ear and be like, yo, let me see what I can do in that booth real quick.
That's exactly what I
you know
yes.
I might tamper around in there and see what's up. See if I still got see if I got a little something. But this isn't about me. This is about you, madame. So is it possible? I know we are talking about you and your musical journey and the things that you would like to do, but let's talk about the album. Let's talk about the album. Let's talk about the new songs. Let's talk about that. Like, tell us a little bit about what we're going to expect when we listen to the new album.
Yeah. So, I think the material that you have been listening to prior to this interview was my EP, the one that I put out in what was that? March this year, I think.
Yes.
And I only did that, like most of the songs on this EP have been released before, except for
Hmm.
two that were new, kind of
Okay.
bonus tracks. But all the other songs have been released before. But I started to gig around very frequently.
Hmm.
And it started to be a thing that people come up to me after the show asking for CDs, like physical CDs.
Hmm.
And I stood there like an idiot saying, no, because I didn't have any CDs. Everything was just on Spotify and YouTube and like
Yeah,
all
yeah.
streaming platforms. And so I knew I would start to work with this new team in the UK for the album. And I knew that the music will be slightly different to the rest of the stuff that we have put out so far. So
Hmm.
I decided that it kind of makes sense to close the chapter to like press 50 CDs of the EP of the
Hmm.
previously released songs. So I would have 50 copies to sell
Yeah.
and then just close the chapter and start the new one with the record. And like, if you listened to my prior stuff, you said it yourself. There's a little bit of rock, there's a little bit of
Yes.
pop, there's a little bit of there's a little bit of everything in my prior songs,
Yeah.
which was good because it kind of helped shape where do I feel comfortable. I've got so many influences musically. I listen to so many different things, but
Hmm.
to kind of find out what identity do I have when it comes to
Yeah.
music. So it was necessary to do all these different things that kind of came natural, and I just wanted to see what's gonna stay.
Mm.
And so I went to the studio in London 2 years ago, and we decided to just record a test song to see if we're a match. And what I have done, I always want to be prepared when I go to the studio. So I prepared
Hmm.
a little demo playlist with just some songs that I've recorded, like wacky recorded demo versions at home.
Yeah.
Um, but I also shared a video of a new song to my Instagram that day. And when I got to the studio, the producer was kind of like, I saw your Instagram post that you did, and I really like that song. Is that on the demo playlist? And I was like, no. He was like, yeah, can we do this one? I've got a vision. I know exactly what it should be like. And so we started to, like, we sat down. I got my guitar. I played it for him the way I
Hmm.
wrote it.
Yeah.
And we started to talk about production, like where where should or could that song go in terms of production? What should it sound like? Because up until that point, it was just a guitar song, like a simple acoustic guitar track. And you can do anything with a simple guitar track, you know? You could do a
Yeah.
heavy
Yeah.
metal version, you can do a pop version, you can do whatever. And we agreed on what it should be immediately.
Hmm.
Like I'm used to having loads of arguing about that. Like, no, it should be like this. No, it should. No, we should cut it like that. And nothing that didn't happen. Like we agreed on what it should sound like instantly.
Nice.
And so we ended up recording that song in 3 days, and I went back home. And once I got the mix, I was like, okay, this is it. And they asked me what my further plans were, and I told them that I wanted to make an album, like a first fresh start, a new album. And they were very keen on working with me on that.
Hmm.
And so that's what we've been doing for the past 2 years now. I flew back and forth between Switzerland and London, like Zurich and London, all
Yeah.
the time. I spent so much time on planes, and I played a lot of shows in the UK as well, kind of just
Hmm.
to get me around the scene there and get to know people.
Hmm.
And so now we've got five mastered songs out of 12. The rest is still in the making because we're kind of perfectionists when it comes to mixing and mastering and stuff. That usually takes a lot of time. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, the album is going to be like sonically, it's going to be just in the exact way my first single was from the album, which is a song called Hearts Don't Bend, and we just released that in May, end of May. And so if you like the sound like sonically of that song, which is I would describe it as, I don't know, it's a little Americana rock pop.
Yeah.
It's guitars, it's bass, and it's drums. That's the only thing, the only elements. No electronic stuff in there. It's really like we
Nice.
wanted to take it back and really make it old school, just instruments and the
Yeah.
voice. So that's what we did.
Nice.
Really excited.
So, um, we got about 10 more minutes because I know that it's getting late where you're at. And so I know that I don't want to keep you too long. But if you want to talk and continue, I'm more than welcome to. We'll just kind of keep rolling with it. This is the point where I was going to ask you, did you want me to play a little bit of the song, or do you want to maybe give them a little taste of it? How you feeling? Because I have it already linked up, ready to go. So I'm already there.
The single, you mean?
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah,
know what?
you're explaining the single. I figured, hey, might not
I
give.
want people to listen to the music, like the way the album's gonna sound sonically. So it would be great if you could play the song. Because if I
Okay,
play it on one guitar, it's not gonna sound the way my sound like
gotcha.
is sounding. So
All right, well, I'm gonna give you guys a little taste of "Hearts Don't Bend," the first single off the new album. Here we go. Could have been just a face. Could have been just a thought that might as well would fade away. It happened really quickly, staring at the sky. I never thought that I would fall in love with your blue eyes. But I woke up in the morning in a bed that wasn't mine. I kinda knew I meant to date, but damn, you're just so fine. Your eyes explore my body. I'll lay you watch you sleep. I never thought that you would be a secret I would keep. But all of a sudden, so much more than a friend. Down to love you because hearts they don't bend. A daydream all the time. Wishing you were mine. All right, you guys, you got to go and get it yourself. It's on all platforms, right?
it's everywhere.
Yeah, I
Everywhere.
mean, I like it. I like it.
Thank you.
But for me, I wanna ask a couple questions about the album. There's a couple
Yeah.
songs that I just want you to give a brief breakdown of the concept behind the song.
Yeah.
Um, Obviously, one of my faves um, was Time. Um,
Time.
like I love that song. It's an amazing song. So tell them what is it? What is the concept behind um, that song?
Time is a funny story, and I think it's a side of me that I haven't really let people see up
Mm,
until I put that song out. Everything was very loud all the time. And with time it was which is the reason why I decided to put it on the record as a
hmm.
bonus track, because it is one of my personal favorites too. It's
Yeah.
like the dynamic of that song is so weird. Like it's so untypical. Like the whole middle
Hmm.
eight part, that like the bridge thing, how people say it,
Yeah.
it just picks up speed and it really goes somewhere completely different.
Yeah.
But that's a surprising thing that I actually ended up liking the most. The song is like there's about five different guitars that you hear, and you
Mm.
think it's two, but it's
Hmm.
I swear to God, it's like five different guitars that you hear. And
Wow.
we had the playback of the song. It was a song that didn't start with lyrics. It started musically. We had this really beautiful sound, and we the more I listened to it while we were working on it, I realized that it reminded me of how I sometimes just need more time, like this constant feeling of needing more time to deal with
Mhm.
things, to do stuff. Like, and it just made me go to a place where I actively started to think about. There's something I always say when people start to talk about marriage. It's a
Mm.
stupid example, but it applies pretty well. Whenever I get asked about, do you want to get married? I say no. I don't believe in marriage because I don't believe in saying forever,
Mm.
like ever, because you can't really be sure about anything in this life. And
Right.
how can I promise forever if I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow?
Yeah.
And so I started to think about that because a lot of people are offended by me saying, no, I'm not going to give you a forever. And I wanted to write about that, which is kind of how the song starts. The lyrics go, I never say forever. I'm
Mm.
climbing ladders and I never really know what I'm climbing after.
Hmm.
So like it's really something that
Yeah.
applies. It's a very personal story.
Yeah. That's a great lyric. I love the whole idea behind it, and it's something that it's in my wheelhouse of, and I feel almost the same way when it comes to marriage. Um, I mean, I never really um, wanted to get married um, because of watching my parents and their marriage and the way that you know you see the unhappiness and the times where the verbal abuse, the physical abuse. And for me, just watching that and experiencing that over and over and over again really kind of put me in a place where I just made a decision at a very young age to say, you know what, this isn't for me. I don't want to be locked into something and be unhappy. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, yeah, you can go to counseling, you can, seek some, professional help when things get to a certain place. But at some point, you have to realize either it's going to continue and work or it's not. And, my parents are still together. And I don't agree with it, but I also, I
You
can't
respect.
say can't I yeah I can't hate on I can't hate on my mom and dad. Like my mom, she left my dad, and she was living by herself in a house by herself for years. for years by herself. And then she came to me one day and, told us she's moving to Texas. And we already knew my mom is lonely. And so she went to move back in with my dad. And so they're together. I mean, sometimes you just, you're dealt with those type of stories where it's like the Romeo and Juliet situation, but there are bumps in the road, and so you guys separate, and then you're by yourself for years, and then you realize you miss that person more than ever now than you did before. And so that's kind of what my mom and dad kind of ended up doing. And like I said, that's a whole nother story in itself. I can't hate on my parents. I
But
just
don't you think it also has a lot to do with just like the generation they were born in?
absolutely,
Then it wasn't
absolutely,
normal to just like get a divorce. So things happen,
absolutely.
we just get a divorce. I'm gonna get married, I'm gonna get a divorce. Like divorces for everyone for free. I mean, it wasn't a thing.
It
While
wasn't.
nowadays it's socially, well, not everywhere, but in most of the places it's socially accepted. And
Yep.
people understand if you stand up for yourself and say, done. I've had enough. For whatever reason, I need to leave because I'm an unhappy, miserable person.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
back then, where our parents grew up, in that time,
Locked in.
it wasn't a thing to get a divorce. That's
Yep.
not something you do. So I
Absolutely.
think we got to keep
Great
that in mind
point.
whenever we think about why didn't I have the same feelings about my parents whenever over the years.
Hmm.
They got a divorce. They are friends now. Everything is fine, but they tried to stick this stuff together for the longest time, and it was so complicated and so
Yeah.
unhealthy and in a weird situation at home all the time. So,
Yeah.
but you can
Yeah.
never forget their upbringing was completely different.
Absolutely. And I mean, that's absolutely a huge, huge, great point that I definitely agree with 110%. The way that people are today, and when it comes to relationships, yes, it's still marriage is still a thing, but I think everyone is doing
Divorce is a good
everything.
thing as well.
Huh?
Divorcing is a thing as well.
Divorce is a good thing as well. Sometimes just being with someone that you really truly care about isn't a bad thing either. You know what I'm saying? I
No, it's
mean,
not.
everything doesn't always have to be in writing.
No, and I
Sometimes.
mean, again, if someone's watching who thinks about getting married or is married and feels offended now by what I'm saying, I mean, whatever whatever makes you happy, whatever you believe in, if you want to get married, go ahead and do it. If you find the
Yeah.
person you want to be with forever, go ahead and do it. I'm
Yep.
just saying I can't do it. For me personally, on a personal level, it's not it doesn't work because if I'm with someone and I truly love that person, to
Hmm.
me, love is enough.
Exactly. It should be. It should be enough. You know. Absolutely. So, so what do you think?
What do I think?
Do you would you like to play something
I
for
can
the
play
people?
something. Yeah,
Play a little
sure.
something for the people?
Yeah, sure.
Is that all right?
Yeah, sure.
You okay?
Yeah.
Cool.
Are you
All
okay?
right, you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and mute myself so you guys can't hear me, and we're gonna listen to her for a little bit. So, Ara Davis is in the building.
I'm gonna play a song that I wrote, I think 2.5 years ago, and it's on my EP as well. And so the funny thing is, before I start playing it, it's a song that, like, sonically on the EP, it's one of the rock songs that just got pointed out before. But since I don't really have a drummer here, like I have a drum kit but no drummer,
Yeah.
and no bass player and no guitars, I'm just gonna strip it down and play it acoustically. I hope that's all right. It's a song about a relationship that doesn't really lead anywhere, like a very unhealthy situation between two people, but you go for it anyway all the time because at the end of the day, it's fun. And this is a song called So It Goes. it goes. Every damn time we try, we get too close. I need you almost like I overdose. Oh, every damn time we try, we get too close. So close. And I have lost track of this route just on my back. We're such a mess, but that's what makes us fun, I guess. I won't conceal anything that happens here. So hold me tight, 'cause this might be the last time. And so it goes. Every damn time we try, goes. Need you almost like I overdose. Oh, every damn time we try, we get too close. So it goes, yeah. And I don't wanna go, I don't wanna go back. I don't wanna go, I don't wanna go back. I don't wanna go, I don't wanna go back. Overdose. And I don't wanna go, I don't wanna go back. I don't wanna go, I don't wanna go back. I don't wanna go, I don't wanna go back. Overdose. And so it goes. Every damn time we try, we get too close. Need you almost like I overdose. Oh, every damn time we try, we get too close. So close, yeah. So close. And every damn time we try, we get too close. Need you almost like I overdose. Oh, every damn time we try, we get too close. So it goes.
Can you hear me?
No, it's so
Absolutely.
weird to play to just a screen, and you just see yourself on the screen.
Yeah.
It's weird. You sit there
You-
like, does anyone even care?
No, you killed it. I'm
Thank
sit
you.
like I literally was doing a video while you was
Oh,
performing.
were you?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, get it. No, I love that song. Oh, like I love the part about, like, it's just talking about overdose and like, like going in circles and just reality is like we do that a lot. We as people, we do that a lot. We tend to go in these same circles with the same crowd of people, and sometimes they're the people that we don't really necessarily need to be around, and but we don't know how to get through it. We try to fit in. We want to be popular. Whatever it is, there's always something that allows us to make these weird decisions about these weird things that if we were by ourselves, we probably wouldn't do. And so, like I love the concept, and it really made me just think about some of the things that I'm doing in my life that um, I need to work on, maybe tweaking, adjusting, and fixing. When it comes to people and situations, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I do know. The entire reason why this song exists.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, all right, I really enjoyed our conversation today. I don't even think we touched the surface on some of the things that I really wanted to talk to you about. I think there's so much more to you that I think people need to know and hear. And I don't know if it's possible anytime soon, but I think that we should definitely revisit And I would love to do this again with you. And also, if you're up for it, if you're up for it, I would love to maybe brainstorm us doing a song together. I mean,
Okay.
it'd be a different vibe because I'm from here, and I like a different type of music, and you're over there and you like a different type of music, but we love music together. And so to
Yeah,
me, I
we
think it would be amazing to because I eventually want to release um, an EP slash album myself, and what I want to do, my plan is to do songs with artists. I don't really want to do any individual songs. I want to do artists. I want to have an artist featured on every song that I do. And this is just for my last hurrah. And and I think you're amazing. I love what you do. I was sitting back here vibing. Did you see me holding my phone up to the
no,
camera?
no, I just
I was totally like, you know,
oh, it's
recording you.
cute.
Even
Thank you.
though even though it's recording on my laptop right now, I
Double
still had to
recording is always good,
double recording just in case, but
just in case.
I
That's
love
why
the
I
vibe.
use calculator every time I need to
Absolutely.
like work with numbers, like just in case, just to make sure. Like 1 + 1,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna type that shit in just in case.
Yeah. But I love the vibe. I think it would be amazing for us to try and create something different. And make some music together. And I do think a revisit is in order. I think we didn't even really talk about a whole lot. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, it was
we
like
did talk about your upbringing and some of the things that happened in your upbringing, a little bit about the music, which is always a good thing. But I think there's so much more.
that's when the conversation just flows so naturally. It's almost like you're
Yes,
talking to a friend, and then all of a
yes.
sudden you realize, damn, it's like we're past the
It's
time.
been an hour and a half, and I still feel like there's so many more questions I want to ask.
We can always do this again.
Let's do it. Let's do it. We're gonna set up a date, guys. So if you guys are just jumping on, you're unfortunately at the end of this session, but I love what we came up with. You guys need to go back. Make sure you guys listen. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. Make sure you guys follow her. Get her music on all platforms. And yeah, let's support each other. I mean, like that's what this is all about, supporting one another as we continue to drive to become whoever it is that we're going to become in this world. As long as you're doing good work and not out here running people over and shooting people up with all these different drugs and things of that nature, then support the people doing great things in this world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, we are done for today. Thank you guys so much for being a part of Circle Talk. Thank you, Ara. We are going to talk afterwards, so don't hang up yet.
No.
But for those that are going to be watching in 2 weeks, like I said, I'm going to be with a young man that has been in the music biz for about 15, 20 years almost. He has done some very amazing work with some amazing people. I don't know if any of you guys know who Rick Ross is, Omarion, the Rough Riders, some well-known people that are doing music in the music biz right now. These guys have done some music for them and produced some of their albums. So I will be sitting with Michael Cole, and we will be going live from his very own studio here in Washington to talk music and his upbringing and what's he up to today. So watch out for that in 2 weeks, the 21st. Make sure you guys tune in. We'll be back. It's a Sunday. It's not a Saturday. It's a Sunday. So tune in. But on behalf of the Circle, thank you guys so much for being here. We'll see you guys later. Peace.